Today I am making a recipe that's over on my blog, farmhouseonboone.com, that I only really make this time of year when it is strawberry season, but it is a good one. So you can take fresh strawberries or frozen strawberries to make this recipe, but I am going to make a strawberry sauce with sugar and strawberries. You could also use honey. This is going to be layered with a cheesecake ice cream. Now, since I get raw milk and I really appreciate the benefits of it, I like to not cook the custard. So traditionally, ice cream recipes call for cooking the custard, and I know a lot of you are probably cringing at how I do this, but it tastes so great. There's very minimal difference in the outcome, and yet we're preserving all of the benefits of that raw milk. I also do prefer to do the egg yolks raw, which I know a lot of you would rather not. So, totally your own discretion. But I get these eggs either from our own chickens or locally. So I'm comfortable with it, and I love the additional protein. In order to make the cream cheese really incorporate into the milk when I'm just blending it, I put it in a really warm spot. For me right now in this house, that is this cast iron grate here, or sheet, however you want to call it, in the middle of the range top. I just heated up the middle of it, and that just radiates heat to the outside edges, which is great because I can quickly soften some cream cheese. Or you can just set it out for a few hours and then everything should blend together nicely. It takes being well nourished to maintain the energy that I need as a busy mom of 9, especially this time of year. We're doing so many things, really enjoying our summertime. Throughout my pregnancy with Miriam, who is 9 months now, hard to believe, and all through postpartum, I have been relying on Needed, who is the sponsor of today's video. In the past, I have struggled to stay consistent when it comes to taking vitamins, but I can totally tell a difference, especially during postpartum right now, when I skip and when I take my prenatal multi-essentials from Needed. Staying on top of nutrient levels is important all through a woman's life, from preconception to pregnancy to postpartum. There are a lot of demands nutritionally. One thing I noticed about prenatal care is that there's very little discussion about nutrient levels. In fact, in the US, the average prenatal care appointment is about 12 minutes, leaving almost no time for nutrition advice when it can make such a massive difference in the pregnancy. 95% of women are deficient in at least one key nutrient despite taking a prenatal. Many vitamins include bare minimum nutrition, the wrong doses or ingredients, and excess sugars or fillers. Needed doses nutrients beyond the bare minimums. They're designed to maximize nutrient absorption and with zero tolerance for unnecessary fillers. Vitamins are formulated based on the latest clinical research and clinical insights from women's health experts, and Needed is recommended by more than 15,000 women's health experts, from OBGYNs to midwives, functional doctors, and nutritionists. Each batch of Needed product passes through over 2,000 quality checkpoints, from raw material qualification to product release. There's so much on the journey to motherhood that that you can't control, but nutrition is one that you can. Right now, Needed is offering 20% off your first order. This is on already discounted subscriptions and plans or on one-time orders with my code FarmhouseOnBoone. I will leave the link in the description box below. I'm excited to make a new recipe that is over on the blog for dinner tonight, but to go along with it, I need some sourdough flatbreads to serve it with. This calls for 2 cups of all-purpose flour over on the blog. I like to sub 1-for-1 with whole grain flour, so I'm doing 280 grams of hard white wheat berries. So for each cup of flour, I do 140 grams. That works really great for me. Otherwise, I'm following the recipe as it is. Going to let that ferment throughout the afternoon so they're ready for us to use at dinner time. I'm also getting some chicken going in the Instant Pot. This will be for the Greek chicken salad that we are having for dinner. And I am finishing up the strawberry sauce, so blending the sugar and strawberries as it cooks down and reduces into a nice thick sauce that will coat the back of a spoon. Now I want some Greek yogurt for dinner tonight. So I'm taking some of my homemade yogurt, putting it in this tea towel, and I'll just hang it above the bowl for a few hours in order to let all of the whey drip out, or not all of the whey, but a lot of the whey until I have a nice thick Greek yogurt. That will work really well for the recipe we're doing for dinner. This dinner tonight and dessert feels so fresh and summery. I'm grating some cucumber. I'm going to layer this homemade cheesecake ice cream with the strawberry sauce, let it freeze back up in the freezer for later. I'm also doing a few stretch and folds on the flatbread dough throughout the afternoon, so it's nice and stretchy and will be easier to roll out so we can serve these flatbreads with our Greek chicken salad. Every time I make flatbread, I always think, why don't I make these all the time? For whatever reason, they aren't in my regular rotation like sourdough pancakes and a sourdough boule, a beginner sourdough bread that I have over on the website. Those are the things I make all the time, but these are such a low lift, so easy, and they add to almost any meal could benefit from having some flatbread. It's a really simple recipe because you can start it anytime in the morning, even the afternoon. The longer it sits, the longer it will ferment, but it will be successful either way. So that's what's really great about it. Whether you have an active sourdough starter or it's in a more dormant state in the fridge, it really doesn't matter. I just mix it up, do a few stretch and folds, and then it's ready to roll out nice and thin for dinner time for whatever you want to fill it with. And bonus, it works really, really well with 100% whole grain. So just seems like something we should all have in the regular rotation. Easy, which is perfect for summer. Fast, not a lot of hands-on time. Whole grain, why not? Now, when I'm making something like a Greek chicken salad, usually I'm making about half of it with just chicken and mayo or maybe a few other little things that children prefer, and then half of it with all the bells and whistles, the olives, the cucumber, the feta, and make them a more simple chicken salad. So I like recipes like that I can adapt and everyone can be happy. Right now in our farmhouse, one of the rooms that I am trying to focus on making comfortable and nice is our living room. Now, I had a lot of commenters when I did our tour of our new house say that our living room was just so tiny. I really think it's because we have a lot of extra clutter in here as we are finishing up the stairs. So all of the stair spindles and the newel posts and even the railings were all stacked over on the edge there. And so all the furniture was pushed forward. This living room is around, I think I did the math, around 250 square feet. So it's not massive, but it's also definitely not tiny, and I have big hopes for it. My friend Anne from Storied in Tears over on Instagram came over and we were discussing fabrics and all of the ideas and dreams for the living room, kind of trying to get a feel for what I'm going to do in here. There's going to be a lot of slip covering. You can see our paint color palette. She brought over all the paints throughout our house. We're kind of working with that. I found a free piano over on Facebook Marketplace, which is super exciting. I had a spot for a piano in the plan, and now I found the perfect one. So we got to work on these slip covers, work on finding the rest of the pieces for the layout and the design. It might take a year, it might take years, I don't know. But we're really excited to get working on it. Also on the outside, Luke has been working on the railings. There's a couple of different little like half porches off the back porch and the sunroom, and we're getting those finished up. Well, I hope you're having a great summer and enjoying all of the beautiful things that it has to offer. Thank you so much for stopping by our farmhouse.